Okay, so looks like we're taking a deep dive into quitting smoking today.
Sounds like a plan.
You've given us some pretty interesting stuff to work with.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from Alan Carr's Easy Way method, and then we've got some information from the NHS Better Health website.
Okay, two very different approaches
Yeah,
to the same problem.
exactly. And, it's such a personal journey for people,
Absolutely.
quitting smoking.
Yeah, no two smokers are the same.
Right.
Everyone has their own sort of...
Their own story and their own
their own habits.
habits and triggers and the things that will work for them.
Yeah.
So, but I think one of the things that's really great about the NHS material is they give you some really good motivation right off the bat.
Okay.
Because they have this timeline of like all the health benefits that you start to experience like almost immediately when you stop smoking.
Like right away.
Yeah. Like they say that after just 20 minutes,
Okay.
your heart rate starts to return to normal.
Wow.
Like as soon as you put out that last cigarette,
That's incredible.
the body's like, thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly your body starts to repair itself.
Right. And then it just keeps getting better from there.
Right.
They talk about improved lung function, a lower risk of heart attack, your senses of taste and smell even start to come back.
Oh, yeah. You can really taste food again.
So it's pretty motivating.
Absolutely.
Like when you start thinking about
Yeah.
all the good things that are going to happen.
Yeah, the future you as a non-smoker.
Right? Like a future you that's like full of energy.
More energy, less coughing.
And like just feeling so much better.
Yeah, vitality.
And the one thing that the NHS really emphasizes is that everybody's journey is different.
Right.
So they talk about this idea of a personal quit plan,
Okay.
which I think is really smart because it acknowledges that there's no like one size fits all solution.
Yeah.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly.
And I think this kind of ties into something that I found really intriguing in the Alan Carr material,
Okay.
because his Easy Way method, it's all about shifting your mindset,
Interesting.
which is a completely different approach
Yeah.
than like the traditional,
White knuckling.
yeah, like the willpower.
Just tough it out.
Yeah. Grit your teeth and bear it.
Yeah. And he claims to eliminate the fear and the misery that people often associate with quitting smoking.
Huh. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim.
It is.
Yeah.
And one of his core ideas is that the discomfort that we feel when we're quitting smoking
Yeah.
isn't so much about the physical withdrawal from nicotine. It's more about the thought of not smoking.
Interesting, like the mental aspect.
It's like a mental trap
Yeah.
we get ourselves into.
Uh-huh.
And he's trying to help us break free from that.
Okay, so how does he do that?
Well, he has some pretty counterintuitive tips.
Like what?
Like, for example, he actually encourages you not to cut down on cigarettes before your quit date.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems backwards.
I know it does.
You'd think you'd want to wean yourself off.
Right. But his reasoning is that by avoiding those situations, like by not smoking in certain places or by cutting back, you're basically just reinforcing the idea that you're depriving yourself.
Oh, I see.
And so he wants you to face those triggers head on.
Okay.
And realize that you can still enjoy life
Yeah.
as a non-smoker.
You don't have to completely change your life.
Right.
Just because you're not smoking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about changing your perspective.
Yeah.
Rather than just like fighting this urge all the time.
Right, like reframing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So now both of these sources touch on this idea of substitutes,
Okay.
like nicotine patches gum
Mm-hmm.
or even e-cigarettes.
Yeah, those are popular now.
Yeah, and they have pretty different takes on it.
Okay.
So the Alan Carr piece is very much against using substitutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he argues that they just prolong the addiction. He sees them as crutches
Okay.
that prevent you from fully breaking free.
So he's like cold turkey all the way.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks that you need to just rip off the Band-Aid
Wow.
and deal with the withdrawal symptoms head on.
Okay.
Whereas the NHS,
Yeah.
they present them as potential tools to manage cravings,
Okay.
especially in those early days.
Yeah, when it's the hardest.
Right.
So they're a bit more pragmatic about it.
Yeah, I think he comes down to, weighing the pros and cons
Yeah.
and figuring out what feels right for you.
Exactly. And talking to your doctor, of course.
Yeah, definitely always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting to see those two different perspectives.
Yeah, it is.
And, speaking of the mental game of quitting,
Yeah.
both sources really delve into the psychological aspects of addiction.
Oh, okay.
So the NHS, they talk about finding healthy ways to cope with stress and cravings.
Like what kind of things?
like things like exercise, mindfulness, reaching out to your support network.
Right, so like practical strategies.
Yeah, all those kind of practical strategies to help you get through it. While Alan Carr goes deeper into like the mental traps that keep smokers hooked. So he like dissects the addictive cycle. And he exposes the false promises that nicotine makes.
Interesting.
And his goal is to help you see through the illusion of smoking.
The illusion.
Yeah, so that the desire to quit becomes a natural consequence
that's interesting.
of understanding how it's all working.
So he's like giving you a mental map of the maze of addiction.
Exactly.
And NHS is giving you like the compass and the toolkit.
Yeah, exactly.
To get through it.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like they both have their merits.
Absolutely.
And it's worth exploring both of them.
Yeah, see what clicks.
To see which one resonates more with your personal journey.
Right, because ultimately it's your journey.
Exactly. One thing that really stood out to me in the NHS material was the emphasis on real life stories.
Yeah, I like those too.
They share experiences from people who have successfully quit smoking.
Right.
Using a variety of approaches.
Exactly.
Some people used medication, others relied on support groups, and some found their own unique path.
Yeah, they kind of cobbled together different things that worked for them.
Right, and it's pretty inspiring to read those stories.
It is.
Because it just shows you that it's possible.
Yeah.
Like you can break free from smoking.
Absolutely.
And reclaim your health.
And there isn't just one right way to do it.
Exactly.
It's about finding what works for you.
Right. And I think it also kind of gives you a glimpse into the possibilities.
Yeah.
Like, you know, proof that you can do it.
That you can come out on the other side.
Yeah. And like what that might look like.
Yeah, definitely. Like a little sneak peek into a smoke-free future. Right. So I like that.
So speaking of journeys.
Okay.
Let's circle back to those 10 tips from Alan Carr. Because some of them really challenge conventional wisdom.
Like what?
Well, like the idea of not viewing quitting as a sacrifice. So instead of focusing on what you're giving up, he encourages you to embrace the freedom and the benefits that come with being a non-smoker.
Oh, I see. So it's about like flipping the script.
Yeah, it's about shifting your perspective from one of deprivation to one of liberation.
That's a big way to put it.
Like instead of saying I can't smoke anymore, you're saying I'm choosing to live a healthier, smoke-free life.
Like you're taking control.
Exactly.
Instead of letting the addiction control you.
And that choice empowers you. Puts you in the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
Another tip that I thought was really interesting was his advice to socialize as normal after quitting.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know it seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, a lot of people avoid going out because they're afraid of being tempted.
Exactly. But he argues that avoiding social situations actually reinforces the power that smoking holds over you.
Oh, interesting.
So he wants you to realize that you can be around smokers without feeling tempted.
Like you don't have to give up your social life.
Exactly. You can still enjoy those gatherings, have fun, connect with people.
Yeah.
All while staying true to your commitment to being a non-smoker.
Like you can still be.
Exactly.
Just without the cigarettes.
Right. And I think that's a really important message.
It is.
Because sometimes people feel like they have to.
Their whole life has to change.
Yeah, like they have to become a different person.
Right.
In order to quit smoking.
That's just not true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So both sources also delve into the psychological aspects of addiction.
Yeah.
Which I think is really key to understanding the quitting process.
Absolutely.
So the NHS talks about finding healthy coping mechanisms. For stress and cravings.
Which is huge because like so much of smoking is tied to managing emotions.
Right, exactly. And they offer practical strategies. Like exercise. Mindfulness, seeking support from loved ones.
Right, all good things.
Yeah, all those kind of things.
That can help you get through those tough moments without reaching for a cigarette.
Well, Alan Carr takes a more analytical approach. Like he breaks down the mental traps that keep smokers hooked. So he challenges the idea that smoking offers genuine pleasure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he argues that it's merely a temporary escape, the discomfort of withdrawal.
So, like, you're not actually enjoying it.
Right. It's just that you're
just avoiding feeling bad.
Exactly. And by understanding this cycle, he believes that you can start to dismantle the illusion that cigarettes are providing.
Yeah.
Something that you truly need.
Like you're breaking free from the spell.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like he's shining a light on the deceptive nature of addiction and helping you see it for what it really is.
And once you see it,
right,
it loses its power over you.
Exactly. And the desire to quit can become much stronger.
Yeah, because it's no longer about willpower.
Right.
It's about recognizing that smoking doesn't serve you.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Both sources also touch on
the
concept of nicotine replacement therapy.
Or NRT.
Yeah, or NRT, which can include things like patches, gum,
inhalers,
yeah, all those things. And these provide a controlled dose of nicotine to help manage cravings and withdrawal symptoms.
So it's like a way to wean yourself off gradually.
Right. So the NHS acknowledges that NRT can be a useful tool for some people. While Alan Carr strongly advises against it.
Really?
Yeah, he argues that it just prolongs the addiction.
Oh, so he's not a fan.
No, he's not a fan of NRT.
Why? Okay.
So it's a bit of a point of contention.
Yeah.
You know, and ultimately the decision of whether or not to use NRT is a personal one.
Right. You have to weigh the pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly.
And talk to your doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, always a good idea to consult with your healthcare provider.
Absolutely.
One thing I found really helpful in the NHS materials was their breakdown of the different types of support available.
Oh, yeah. They have a lot of resources.
They do.
Yeah.
So they talk about helplines, online communities, and even text messaging programs that are designed to help people quit.
So there's like a lot of options out there.
There are.
For people who need that extra support.
And I think having that strong support system is really crucial because it can provide encouragement, accountability, practical tips to help you through those tough moments.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and coaches in your corner helping you reach your goal.
Yeah, and the NHS really emphasizes that you don't have to go through this journey alone.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've really gone in depth with these two different approaches.
Yeah, two very different philosophies almost.
Yeah, you've got the NHS with their like very practical guidance.
Very practical, step by step.
Yeah, lots of resources, emphasis on support.
Yeah.
And then you've got Alan Carr.
Right. Totally different.
Who's like, let's just completely rewire your brain.
Yeah, he's like, no more crutches, no substitutes, just change your thinking.
And it's interesting how they both can work.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, the practical approach might be better.
Right, if you need that structure.
Yeah, like you need that day-by-day plan and that accountability.
And other people might be more drawn to the Alan Carr method.
Like if you're the kind of person who likes to really understand things.
Yeah, like you need to know the why.
Yeah, the why behind it.
Right, and for those people, his approach might be more appealing.
Yeah, because he really breaks it down.
He does.
Like he analyzes it.
Yeah, and it's almost like he's giving you a mental map.
Right away to navigate all those.
Yeah, all those mental traps.
Tricky thoughts and feelings.
Exactly. Right. And remember those stories we talked about from the NHS material?
Oh, yeah, the real life stories.
Yeah, like Stevie, Aria, and Heather.
Yeah, they were inspiring.
They all used different methods.
Right. Different things worked for them.
But they all achieved the same outcome.
Yeah, a healthier, smoke-free life.
Exactly. And I think their stories really underscore the message.
Yeah.
There's no one right way to quit.
Exactly. Find what works for you.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah, and don't get discouraged if you stumble along the way.
Yeah, you might have setbacks, but it's not about being perfect.
It's about getting back on track.
Exactly.
Perseverance.
And I think that's a really important message to end on.
Yeah, because ultimately, this is about you. It's your journey.
Your journey to freedom.
Freedom from those cravings.
From the guilt.
The control that cigarettes have had over your life.
Exactly. And that freedom, it comes with so many rewards.
So many rewards.
Remember all those health benefits we talked about?
Yeah, the sharper senses, the stronger heart.
More energy, less coughing.
Feeling good in your own skin.
It's like stepping into a whole new version of yourself.
The best version of you.
The best version of you, exactly.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's bring it back to you.
Back to the listener.
Yeah. What resonated with you the most?
Yeah, what stood out?
What feels like the right fit for your personal journey?
Yeah, because there's no right or wrong answer here.
Exactly. The key is to find what empowers you.
Yeah, what motivates you.
To make that change and to stick with it. To keep going even when it's tough.
And remember, you have the strength within you.
You do.
To break free from smoking.
Absolutely.
And embrace a healthier, more fulfilling life.
You got this.
Good luck on your journey.